honest, when I was coming to the UK, I had a lot of expectations. Like my expectations were so high, and most people who were coming to the UK or abroad, this expectation was like it's better than back home, obviously. But hey, let me give you the shock of your life. Wait to hear this one.
You'll be living your good life. Capture glimpse from the outside, then you see me now, see me now, see now. Don't need any timeline to prove that this is my life. I can see it now, see it now.
Hey guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. If you're my the first time, you are highly welcome here. My name is Love Ebegbe. I film about lifestyle, family, business, and of course mental health discussions and awareness. And to my whole subscribers, thank you guys for tuning in to today's video. So guys, I am going to be sharing with you my experience. Like it's still like a shock to me because I hold this kind of places a lot of expectations, like high expectations that things like this can happen here. Obviously it's a shocker because anything can happen anywhere. Nowhere is safe in the world. We are just living in part of this world by God's grace, God's protections, because what happened to us is really like we still talk about it, but most times we laugh about it, but within us we know that this kind of thing is supposed not to happen here. So I gave an hint in my previous video what happened to us, but I haven't had time to talk about it because I've really been so busy. But today I just wanted to share with you guys what really happened. Like we went shopping this particular weekend. I think in August. It was a week to my son's birthday and also his resumption. So obviously we just said all of us going carrying children out for shopping is one hell of hard work. Like you will literally run around town, run around city center, run around everywhere pushing them because they want to walk around, especially when you are putting them in a pram to move them about. So this particular day we went out for shopping. We stopped at African shop and we got some African food items. We put it in a trolley bag. I don't know, it's common in the UK. Most people use this trolley bag. It's just like a box, a traveling box, but more of a trolley bag. You can wheel it around without carrying any load and stuff like that. So that's what we use in shopping at home. After shopping from the African shop, it's okay, let's get to where we can get my son's clothes and his uniforms for school, and that was how we set out to the city center. We got to the mall. I said, okay, let me stop at this shop, Lovista, and see what it is they have, the jewelries and all that. And because my pram is so big, I can't get into the shop. I packed it outside and told my husband to look at it, while my husband was the one who dragging the trolley bag. Then I went in myself and left my keys to my husband. I did a bit of window shopping and I stepped out. When I came out, I saw my husband running around the mall looking for my children, and I waited with the pram outside. When he came, he put them in the pram, and that was how my husband and myself we left. So we went to Nest. We spent about an hour or so in Nest because we wanted to get him his uniforms, his shoes for school, and of course some other items like clothes for him and my other son. And we spent about an hour, I think, there in Nest. Then we left Nest. We went to Primark. We stayed in Primark. I think the first department we went to was the women's department. So when I got there, I spent a lot of hours because I was trying so many things at that department that I even forgot that, okay, this thing was not with us. So when we got to the till to pay, my husband was like, where is the trolley? And I'm like, I think I left it at the women's department. My husband and I'm like, my husband, okay, just wait here with the kids, let me run and go and check. My husband went to check, but he did not find it. So he called me and said, okay, he did not see it. Where I think we must have left it. I was like, okay, you should wait, let me come and meet him. When I went to meet him there, We checked around, we did not find anything. Then I said, okay, let's speak to one of the sales representatives. Obviously, maybe they know where it's, maybe someone saw it and gave it to them. And we spoke to one of the representatives. She said, okay, let me go and check the till. Maybe one of the customers or one of the sales reps have taken it to the till. And that was how we went with her. She asked her other colleagues. They said they did not see anything. I asked my husband, he said it's still like so fast. It's okay, we want to see CCTV. They said time has passed and there's a bit of rush in the shop, so obviously they can't check CCTV camera until the next day. And I'm like, we have food items that we want to prepare for this weekend, so we can't wait till on Sunday to now come back. So we said, okay, let's go back to Nest. Maybe we left it in Nest. We went to Nest. Nest said, okay, they will check their CCTV camera. They checked and they said we came into their shop with just the pram. There was no trolley. And in all of this, I was so conscious with what it is I say. Like, I knew I was angry, but I didn't want to put a blame on anybody. I just kept saying I think. I didn't want to say like I'm sure, so that when they don't see it in their shop or something happens, I won't have an apology to tender to anybody or whatnot. So I was so conscious with things that were coming out from my mouth. I was like, okay, please, can I see your CCTV camera? They said okay. They checked and they did not find anything. They said okay, we came in just with a pram and my husband holding my son. I was like, okay. And I started thinking, like, retracing our steps from when we came into the shopping mall. And I remember that at the time I went into Lovista to do window shopping, and I came out and my husband was pursuing my son around the shopping mall. When he brought them back and put them into the pram, what happens is that I pushed the pram and he was watching football that Saturday on his phone. He left the shopping bag, the shopping trolley in that particular spot, and that was how we headed for Nest. So quickly we rushed downstairs, came to Lovista, checked front of Lovista, but there was nothing. Then I went into Lovista to ask the sales reps, and they said, oh, they didn't see anything. And that was how it dawned on us that this trolley has been picked up by someone, and probably the person has taken it out of the shopping mall and gone home or gone somewhere they can access it and know what's inside the shopping trolley. Then we went back and alerted the security that's in charge of the mall. And when we spoke to them, they said, okay, where did you guys leave it? We explained to them and everything. Okay, can you check your CCTV camera? They said, okay, the CCTV camera cannot be accessed now because blah 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 blah. Obviously they're just giving us some sort of excuse that they didn't want to check. And just told my husband, I said, okay, the way it is going is that we'll quickly run back to where we bought items and buy them again and start the whole process, or we go back home, because at this time the whole thing was already so exhausting. And that was how we went back to African shop, started shopping from everything from scratch to finish. And we spent about, the first item we bought, we spent about £50 thereabout, and this one we're spending another £15. That's about £100 on this item. And I'm like, I did not come to this UK to come and feed people instead of people to be feeding me. And thoughts came running to my mind that if this thing had happened back in my country, someone would have given it to me, or someone would have left it there, being scared that this is something that is going to happen. But in this case, I don't know, even with the CCTV camera, they are not even scared. As in this country, they will scam you with receipts and hit you on your head like you can't do us anything. And the security people, they obviously don't do anything about it. As far life is not involved, it doesn't concern them, and it is really terrible. I remember there was a time that I was really stressed. It was a weekend and my husband was home with the kids, and I was like, I don't have anything to prepare for the house, let me try and get something for the house for us to just eat that night. And that was how I set out. If you see the way I dragged myself out of the house, like I literally just managed to get out of the house, put on my clothes. I just wore my wig and I went to town, bought some African food items like yam, plantain, garden egg, fish, something that I can just ruffle around that evening for us to eat. And I set out to get the items, and I was coming back, my handbag at my hand, then the item was in my hand. So obviously as I sat in the bus coming back home, I just put it at the side of my chair where I was seated. When I got to my bus stop, I alighted, came down, and I was headed home. When I go home, I greeted my husband. man obviously greeted me like, welcome. Where is the food items you went to buy? And I'm like, I thought it's in my hand. It's now dawned on me that I've left it in the bus. I ran out of the house quickly because the bus stop is about 2-3 minutes walk from my house. I ran back to the bus stop, started waiting for the bus. Probably it would turn around and come back to pick passengers from that particular spot, because obviously I stopped at the other side. So if you are in this side, meaning it's going back to town. So I was waiting in the bus stop. The bus came and I spoke to the bus driver. Did you see anything? He said no. I went online, searched for their management number and told them that, okay, I've left an item in this particular bus number, and this was the person who was riding the bus. This was where I was sitting in the bus. This was what I left in the bus. So the management said, okay, I should give them like a few minutes. They are going to call all the buses that are routed through that particular place, and they are going to get back to me. I was at the bus stop waiting that probably that bus I asked at that time was not the actual bus but the same bus number. Then while waiting for the management to get back to me, another bus came. I spoke to the driver that I must have left something in your bus, but I'm not too sure, but this is the particular bus number. So he said that the buses usually change as well as the driver when they get to the final bus stop and they are returning back to town. And I'm like, oh, am I going to do this time? It was already like 7 p.m. and I came back 6 p.m. at that time. So I started waiting again, and I got a call from the management that they've asked all the bus with that particular number I entered that they should alight and stop and search their buses to see if someone left anything. And his response was like, he has called all the drivers, and all the drivers said they did not find anything. And I'm like, what? Is this country that bad? Like, you can just leave someone cannot just say, oh, you left it. I know there's a time I left something back home in a car. I know when I was leaving, the passenger that was sitting next to me told me, oh, you left this thing here, can you don't forget to take it. I know there are not all cases like that here. I know sometimes there's some cases where you leave something and you standing or someone will say, hi, can you pick, you left your stuff, and you have to go back and pick them. Then it was so bad. Like, I was really, really angry that day. I still kept on hoping that maybe they will call me. Today I'm still hoping. It's been like 2 years now and nothing has happened. Like, they really, really steal here. Nowhere is actually safe. They will steal your thing. They will scam you with your money online. They will do everything. They scam me of my 20 pounds like on Facebook Market. Like, it's crazy. Even me that is managing, they're still scamming me. Just scam on Facebook Market. And I've been a victim for like 2 times now, and I've learned my lesson. I don't even know how these people even do it, even with everything they have. They're too lazy. I'm sorry to say, if you are anyone, if you're affected, or if you know, and I don't even want to know. Like, I feel very bad, honestly, because we all are all struggling, and you now scam me of my money. So obviously that was what happened. Now the security guys are like, okay, they will get back to us. They haven't gotten back to, obviously, because it doesn't even involve life and death. So no reason for them to get back to. But come on, this is something that you can actually check. I know that even if they check their CCTV camera, they will still not know who took it. Like, they will see the person, but even when I go to town and every weekend, I still go to that particular spot. Like, it's like a memorial ground for me. I left something that I still like to check, like, what I left, if it's the person will still return it, or the person will still return my trolley. I really missed my trolley bag. Now I'm still trying to lift items with shopping bags, because that trolley bag was very expensive when I got it, and I'm still looking for something like that, and I haven't found any. I feel very bad every single time I go to town. I still hope that I will see my sometimes when I go to town, I'm always checking corners, maybe someone left it there. I know that the person who took it might not even know how to eat the food items that were inside the box. That's what really happened. No one is really safe. Try and stay safe for yourself. Be very careful. Be very mindful of where you go to. Everyone is struggling. Everyone is trying to look for daily bread for themselves. No one wants to care if the other person is affected, if the other person is struggling as well, as long as they are able to get things for themselves. So that was what happened to us, guys. Thank you for watching. Please don't forget to hit the subscribe button, share this video, like, comment, or share your experience as well, and give this video a thumbs up if you find it interesting or informative. Thank you, guys. See you in my next video. Bye.